Hello, I'm Lauren Han, Manager of Place-Based Policy at the Department of Industry, Innovation and Science. I'm here with researcher and lecturer at the Urban Design and Planning at the University of Canberra, Professor Richard Hugh, to discuss his new book, Crafting Innovative Places for Australia's Knowledge Economy. Professor Hugh, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
Firstly, I wanted to ask what led you to write this book?
I wrote this book together with Professor Edward Blakely, and we had the idea 5 years ago. We felt that there should be such a book, and both of us are based in Australia, and we observed that it is very important for this nation to transit its economy from resource-based to knowledge-based, and and the future pathway must be place-based and place-based innovation. And since there is not such a book, and we asked ourselves, why shouldn't we write one? So that was the genesis of this book. It took us almost 5 years to complete this book.
In crafting innovative places, you identify 4 categories of innovative place: anchor, hub, community, and standalone approaches. What would you say are the costs and benefits of each approach, and how would you recommend that placemakers choose the right way forward?
We summarized those 4 approaches based on the existing innovative places elsewhere and at home in Australia as well. And we summarized those attributes from each of those approach for reference, for information, and even for critique. So by illustrating those 4 approaches, we don't mean that, a place can pick each of them to apply. And every place is different, and the reality is that there is not a fixed panacea approach that is universally applicable. And each place is different for planners and for decision makers and for business development and economic development managers. They need to find out the unique attributes, resources, and features that design that particular place, then draw each certain attributes from each of those approaches to see to what extent they can be utilized. So we won't recommend that a place can follow one approach only and apply it to that place.
As an urban planner, you have some interesting insights in placemaking's impact in fostering innovation. In your view, what are some of the must-haves of a dynamic physical realm that fosters collaboration?
I think the media is very important. We need to create an environment that is conducive to collaboration, creativity, and entrepreneurship. There are certain attributes that are physically or spatially based. For example, mixed use, accessibility, and connectivity, and amenities, and access to different uses on spaces and within walking distance, and preferably. And those attributes are important to make the dynamic urban space to generate innovation.
Are there some cultural differences between Australia and the rest of the world that you think might either restrain or foster innovation? For example, we often hear that Australia lacks a supportive risk-taking culture. What's your view?
I think we do some ingredients in our culture that are going to foster the innovation. For example, this urban society, and this multicultural society, and this society is known for diversity and tolerance. All of those ingredients are important for fostering innovation. People might say that, look, and in our culture, we don't have a kind of like a risk-taking culture. I object because we don't have to, and we have been lucky, and our economy has been good for nearly 3 decades, and our economy is not reaching that stage for us to try risk-taking, and so of course, but at the same time, and we need to anticipate the future uncertainty and change. In that regard, we do have entrepreneurship, risk-taking, and policy, good policy vision and strategy, and more importantly, to carry out concerted action towards that aim.
What are some examples you've seen that engage the community in the design of innovative places?
The first place I have in mind is Boston Innovation District. That is a good example of it's a government initiative, but the government collaborated with the business sector and closely worked with the community to forge a vision and put that vision into good plan and make that place happen. And now that place is open to the whole community. So I would say that Boston Innovation District is a good example of engaging the community into designing an innovative place.
In crafting innovative places, you suggest that local government could adopt a greater role in international engagement to capture investment and to boost exports. Considering the resource constraints local governments face, what are some interesting approaches you've seen from local government?
We live in a digital age, and the local government could do so many things on the digital platform in the virtual world. When I talk about the initiative that the local government should take the lead, I don't mean that they should put into the resources, and the local government has the capacity, and they know the local settings, they know the local assets. They could be more initiative, entrepreneurial to put up new ideas and to engage the stakeholders, for example, the state government, even the Commonwealth government and the business sectors into collaborative action.
Thanks for joining us, Professor Hugh.
My pleasure.